my name's Ruth McCurdy, and I'm part of the Lennox Addington Studio Tour on September 9th and 10th, and I will be at spot number 11. Welcome to my gallery. I hope you enjoy what you see. I started doing photography, we won't go on how many years ago, just capturing moments in time with whatever caught my eye as I was driving along, whether it be wildlife, landscapes, old barns, whatever happens to come in front of me, I just stop and take pictures. And my husband jokes that I should have a slow moving sign on my car saying this car stops often. So I think some of my favorite pieces have to be my owls because they're very hard to find. This is my little screech owl, and I think he and my snow owl are probably two of my favorite owls that I've taken because they're so hard to find. And this is my snow owl, and he and I had a relationship for about 2 hours. He never bothered me, and I keep well away from him to give him his space. So I respect nature when I'm taking their photos, and I think that's what allows me to get those wonderful aha shots, because there's something that happens between nature and I. And the same thing happens when I'm doing photo shoots with people. The same thing, they're set at ease, they relax, they laugh and smile, and I catch a lot of candid shots that come into handy later. There's a story behind each and every print that I take, and this one I drove by every day for 10 years going to and from work through all sorts of wind, snow, sleet, and I happened to catch them heading into the milking barn first thing in the morning. And I was asked for a frame print of a pastoral scene with cows grazing out in pasture for someone who has bought a home in Florida. So this little one will be heading south to spend its time in Florida. Another one of my favorite ones over here is my heron. And again, Mother Nature and I spend lots of time one-on-one. And if you sit quietly, it will come. And he actually walked towards me and stood less than 5 feet away from me so that I couldn't get him into my lens except for his feet. So it's amazing what wonderful little gifts Mother Nature gives us. My green thumb isn't always green, but I did try and grow sunflowers one summer. So I planted them outside, and I know you're not supposed to take pictures into the light, but I actually stood with the sun coming through behind, and I was able to capture the wispiness of the sunflower. And I really, really like this one. I'd like to go blow it up a lot bigger. Then I like to come down to my swan, and I don't know, he's just a young fellow, but he's just stretching his wings, and just the way this bokeh in behind with the glistening ice and snow, I don't know, just kind of caught my eye. So I never know what I'm going to take pictures of along the way. It usually just happens. Or sometimes it finds me, like my fox. One day I was driving along, I saw him trotting through the field. He comes and trots beside my car and looks at me and says, "Okay, take my picture." So I did. So it's what wonderful things that happen. A few years ago, I was participating in a craft show at Durham College in Oshawa, and the organizer came by and was admiring my barn calendar. And I said to her, you know, it's too bad that 8 of these barns had disappeared out of the 13 that were featured in the calendar, because most of them had been knocked down or fallen down because of the 407 coming through the Durham region. And she said, well, you know, there might be a story in that. Well, guess what? It happened in East Magazine. And I was featured depicting the barns that had disappeared and the changes throughout time with the 407 development and the loss of the farmlands of those around. So to me, this was a great honor, and I've made many great friends because of this. I still stay in touch with the girl who took my photos. So anyway, it was quite an honor to be featured in East Magazine, and I've also been featured on various covers of magazines in, I should say, newspapers, for advertising different art shows around.